Paramshanti Bapuji. I have read a book named The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, in which an incident given where an advocate while defending a case in court suffered heart attack and then he was hospitalized for treatment. When he got cured, then he searched for spiritual knowledge, and in search of knowledge he went to Himalaya for meditation, and after deep meditation he got knowledge of soul. When I read this book, then I immediately remember you, as your life also very much similar to the life of monk, because you were also a successful advocate by profession, but you left your mundane professional life and gradually delved deep into spiritual life. After entering into spiritual life, you have completely detached yourself from mundane life and also preached that whole physical world what we are seeing is an illusion only. After that you have disseminated supreme spiritual knowledge which is very new on this earth. So we want to know from you what has made you to leave the successful professional career abruptly, and what real spiritualism is. What the ultimate truth of life is.
The human soul who had sold his Ferrari and left his job in search of supreme soul must be a very powerful soul, otherwise a normal human soul cannot think of it. The advocate who had Ferrari must have been a very reputed and successful advocate, but still he left everything and went to Himalaya for fulfilling the search of his soul. In the similar way, Mahatma Gandhi and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, they were also advocates but left their professional career only to serve Mother India. I was an income tax advocate and I used to take income tax raid cases. During my professional career I used to find that people run after wealth madly throughout their life and cannot take even a small penny after death. On the contrary, for the sake of money and wealth, people are found to spoil their whole life. I have also read the history of Napoleon. I used to read many spiritual scriptures and historical facts in order to search the truth of spiritual world. I have been searching for Almighty Authority relentlessly since childhood. I was also working as an advocate, but my mind was more absorbed in spirituality rather than in my profession as an advocate. Though I had not Ferrari vehicle, but my practice was in very prosperous state and I had a strong footprint in my professional career. But I was satisfied by fulfilling my basic necessities of life and I had no intention or desire to earn enormous wealth. I never used my mind for earning wealth as I had no attraction towards worldly pleasures. But I could have flourished in my profession as I had a strong foothold in my profession as an advocate, but I had left everything for search of truth and Almighty Authority. My aim was not only for my own deliverance, but I want benevolence for whole creation. I was not searching the knowledge for my deliverance but for the transformation of whole negative creation. This factor made me to sit for meditation and search for ultimate power source, Almighty Authority. Even today the aim of my life is to transform the whole negative mortal creation to divine eternal creation. To transform the elements to supreme element of whole creation is only aim in my life. I had dreamt of it since my childhood, so I left everything to fulfill my aim.
Bapuji, there is also book on you named as Om of All Things in English and Om Namah Om in Hindi. Please tell us about the spiritual facts which are also not mentioned in that book and which you have realized later on after the publication of the book. This will help all aspirants in spiritual field to grow spiritually. Please tell us.
The book Om of All Things was written by Rusbal Barusha, who is a very good writer and also spiritually enlightened. He has told me that he was inspired by many deity souls to write this book. These deity souls made him to write many spiritual books. The knowledge in that book is very general. Basically everything is explained there in the book in broad sense only. But according to me, if a soul understands all knowledge in detail and make endeavor to connect with supreme ultimate authority of creation regularly while living a life of a common householder's life in normal life, then the soul can become supreme soul. So the soul has to lead a balanced life, maintaining complete balance between mundane and spiritual life. This is the main spiritual facts which I would like to tell all viewers. Certain souls who are very powerful, through this knowledge they can increase their soul power tremendously and can transform the whole creation through their soul power only. All these knowledge were not there in the said book, but in YouTube videos I have given all detailed knowledge on science of soul. The book has mentioned only tip of iceberg of ocean of supreme spiritual knowledge, but this book helps one to connect with our YouTube channel for detailed knowledge. The book has given information about 108 seed souls, so this is a good book to start with.
In our YouTube there are detailed explanations on each and every topic, specifically categorized on various aspects of spiritual facts.
Every soul should search such spiritual master who can show the soul a way to reach the Supreme Soul. But today it is difficult to find such spiritual masters in society who has knowledge of Almighty authority. According to me, there is hardly any such spiritual master in this world who can tell you about Almighty authority. Only if someone can show you the way to reach Almighty authority, only then your life will become successful, else your life will become futile by running from one saints or sages to other without gaining anything.
Now even people do not believe that God also takes incarnation on earth in human form, like at the end of each yugas. Vishnu had 24 incarnations and Shiva had 28 incarnations on earth in different periods to make earth cleanse from negativities. But till date nobody has given knowledge for transformation of creation.
The stories of past trillion years of creation have been written in our scriptures. It is also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavad Gita that whenever there is decline in righteousness and an abundance of negativities, I manifest by my own inner power. Those who follow the path of devotion, they consider Sri Krishna as an incarnation of Vishnu, who is the god of Bhagavad Gita. In this way many incarnations of Vishnu had come on earth. During the time of Rama many monkeys accompanied him in destroying Ravan, and Hanuman was the main architect who was an incarnation of Rudra, so there were incarnations of Shankar also in the past. So whenever the demoniac power increases on earth, then incarnations of God takes place on earth as a general principle of survival of creation on earth.
Bapuji, please tell whether human beings compulsorily should go to spirituality or not.
The decision has to be taken by each individual as to what he or she wants in human life. If a person wants to enjoy life by only eating, sleeping, and at last die like an animal and become a ghost after death, then nobody can help him or her. Because in human life, if a soul does not acquire appropriate spiritual knowledge, then the power of soul will diminish tremendously, and after death the soul will wander in dark as a ghost. Nowadays it is not easy to take birth again as a human soul after death, because innumerable souls are waiting in subtle world for taking birth as human soul, because only in human life form a soul can acquire supreme knowledge which can enhance the power of soul so that it can escape the cycle of birth and death. So each individual human soul must think on this and decide what he wants to be.
200 years back the world population was only 200 crore, but now the world population is 800 crore, then where this 600 crore souls have come from if soul is considered as indestructible? Whether these souls were waiting somewhere to take birth on earth when their turn comes?
The number of human souls is nothing as compared to number of souls in subtle world above earth in this solar system. In our solar system the space of around 2000 to 3000 km, which is under the influence of gravity of sun, that space is filled with uncountable number of souls in subtle form. Our Brahmand has 7 layers above earth like Balok, Babarlok, Malok, Janlok, Taplok, Brahmalok etc., and each layer is filled with different category of souls only. Paramdham or supreme abode of this Brahmand is 1 light year away from the sun, that is around 9.4 trillion kilometers. So everywhere souls are sitting.
That means the 600 crore souls who were not on earth before 200 years, all of them have come from this subtle world.
All these souls have come from subtle world only. At the same time, when a human soul degrades, its soul also transmigrates to animal life forms on earth.
During the time of incarnation of Sri Krishna there was only 8 crore population. That means after that the souls from subtle world have gradually started coming down to earth.
There is difference of opinion about the number of populations during the time of incarnation of Sri Krishna. I have read some time back in a book in Master of Arts that total population of world was only 75 crore before 250 years back, and before 150 years back the world population was only 150 crore. This earth is nothing but a mortal world. Here on earth, after the completion of 4 yugas, the earth is subjected to calamities which destroys all creation on earth. The earth is subjected to various types of destruction which takes place sequentially after the completion of particular time periods. The destructions are named as Nityapralaya, Ardpralaya, Manvantarpralaya, Kalpralaya, Mahakalpralaya. During this process of destruction, certain souls also destroyed.
Lord Sri Krishna had told in Srimad Bhagavad Gita that except supreme knowledge nothing can purify one's soul. So, supreme knowledge is the highest element on this earth which can purify a human soul. That means according to you only through supreme knowledge only we can progress in spiritual field, and there is no alternate way.
This is the era of knowledge. Even today somebody wants to become doctor, engineer, chartered accountant, or lawyer, then one has to study a lot. So in order to acquire this knowledge of physical world one has to study a lot. So if a human being dies after studying such physical knowledge on earth and takes rebirth, will this knowledge help the soul in next birth?
No, it never helps any soul.
So human soul must ponder about this fact that a human soul spends half of his life in studying the knowledge of this physical world, and the same knowledge never carry forward with his or her soul after death. So a soul must and acquire the supreme knowledge about soul called as spiritual knowledge, which will go with soul after death of human being on earth. This spiritual knowledge is the real treasure of soul which will go with souls. Nobody can take this treasure of spiritual knowledge away from you, which is a part of soul only. Even tax cannot be imposed on this spiritual treasure. The more the supreme spiritual knowledge one spreads all around, the knowledge of soul will be multiplied accordingly. This is what the law of spiritual knowledge is. At the end, this knowledge will only act as benefactor of the soul and help the soul to travel back to its place of origin, escaping the gravity of negative world. If somebody act like an animal on earth, then in the next birth the soul will transmigrate to an animal life form, so one must be careful in leading life on earth. That's why in Bhagavad Gita it is written that one should carry out one's duty here on earth without expecting any result, and at the same time one should also not inactive. So you have to decide what type work one should do on earth. Again, it is also said in Bhagavad Gita, Antmati Sugati, that is the future of soul at the time of death is decided according to impressions in mind of a soul. If a soul only engages itself in activities like an animal on earth, then only such impressions will be filled in his or her mind, which at last propel his or her soul to transmigrate to the animal life form on earth as per spiritual principle of Antmati Sugati. So, human souls without any spiritual knowledge wander in the form of ghost after death, and the soul suffers a lot. Human souls should think on this aspect, what he actually wants to become after leaving this human body after death. Whether a soul wants to go to Swarglok or to Vishnupuri or Paramdham, or a soul wants to become Shiva or Paramparam Mahanatma, accordingly soul has to work on it and acquire knowledge and also put efforts. Otherwise soul will only engage in eating, drinking, and merry-making on earth and will become a ghost after death for unknown periods of time. In ghost life form, soul will be attached to the house where he has spent his life in human form and will reside in that house permanently after death, and will create problems to his sons, daughters, or siblings etc. by demanding his desired objects again and again. There is a tradition called as Narayan Bali in Gujarat, where the ghosts residing in the houses demand for its salvation by creating many types of problems to the residents of house. But the facts is that nowadays this Narayan Bali does not work for the salvation of souls as prescribed in Garud Puran. Now scientists are also telling that ghosts are residing in each and every home. Photos of ghosts are also captured by various type newly developed high-tech cameras. So the real knowledge is the knowledge about soul, supreme soul, world drama etc. And each and every human soul right from childhood must be taught regarding this, which will help their soul to escape from this negative mortal world. The physical wealth is nothing but an illusion. Have you ever find anybody to take wealth earned on earth along with it after death? So billionaires have also to die in empty hand only. The physical wealth is only great illusion. Similarly, politicians have great attachment to posts. That's why even after death they move around their posts and social position in the form of ghosts only, which is nothing but they are under the influence of tremendous illusion. So, nowadays innumerable ghosts are wandering everywhere, and all sorts of negative activities on earth are done by these ghosts only due to their strong desires to enjoy physical objects. This is the reason why ghosts are entering into the human bodies to enjoy their desires in their mind, which results in variety of unethical accidents all over the world. Today exorcism is the greatest business all over the world. TB Joshua, a famous Christian exorcist at international level, his business is flourishing like anything. In India there are also many exorcists who are called as Ayha.
Yes, these are happening all around. There are innumerable YouTube channels on this exorcism in internet. But nobody is telling the truth, whether this visible world is true or the invisible world. Nobody has any answer on this.
The visible world what you are talking about is nothing but 700 crore world population. The invisible world is subtle world which comprises of Bhubarlok, Swarglok etc. and extends up to Brahmalok, and each and every layer is filled with souls only. So, invisible world is very big and vast.
You have made videos on spiritual world, Karan Jagat, creation of universe, multiverse, life after death etc., in which videos you have described every spiritual facts in detail, so one must watch and acquire all this supreme divine knowledge without wasting time. So there is nothing greater on earth other than this supreme knowledge which will take a soul to supreme truth. So it is my request to watch, like and share the videos so that supreme truth can reach to everybody. Paramshanti Bapuji.
Paramshanti.